Hello my fellow readers, my name is Mary McWilliams. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video we will be doing a March reading wrap up. Hello my fellow readers, my name is Mary McWilliams. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video we will be doing a March reading wrap up. Now I did surprisingly well this month given the anxiety levels on the rise, but yeah, I had a very successful month, lots of really good reads, so I'm just going to dive straight into it. First up we have Poems from the Attic by Morgan Nikola Wren. This is a collection of poems inspired by the Victorian era. They've all got a kind of vintage feel about them. These are just beautiful, I have to say. 5 out of 5 for this book, 100%. I actually got it as part of the artist collaboration from Wish Candle Company. It came as a set with this candle. I can get you 10% off there with the code bookish10. I'll put the link down below. But this is obviously inspired by the book and smells of old cedar chests filled with dried flowers and antique lace, worn photographs, warm cashmere, and the whisper of past life. It's a wood wick candle and it's got like a wee seal on top and it's gorgeous. But I have to just show you. This makes my little vintage gothic loving heart go pity pat because it's just gorgeous, the inside of it. All this loves lovely. All of these are like Victorian ephemera, if I'm saying that word. And I'm just gonna like read a couple of like there's just little expressions throughout which I really liked. So this one says, cover me in starlit lace while dreams fly at the moon's pale face. Just little moments like that. Come live with me in this mystical whisper of a world between life and poetry. It's perfect. And it's actually, I think the dedication sort of sums it up. It says, for people made mostly of dark, creaky places. Me, definitely 5 out of 5. So I'll put the link down below for this book. I'll put the link for Wish and my discount code as well in case you want to get the artist collaboration. It's definitely worth it. The candle smells amazing. So that's my first read of the month. Next up we have the Southern Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I've already done a deep dive review of this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. You can check that video out. I'll put the link down below. But this is a big fat 5 out of 5. I freaking love this book. It's set in the suburban, middle class little town in the south of America in the 90s. Our lead character Patricia has her book club. They have quite morbid taste, which I love. It's all true crime and serial killers. Anyway, one night she's attacked by an elderly neighbor, and when she meets his nephew, he seems like he needs help. He seems sweet. She invites him into her family, into her life, and immediately regrets it because it turns out that he isn't just a danger, he's a vampire. Now, of course, nobody believes poor Patricia, but now that he's got his sights set on her family and her street and her life and her book club, she's like, hell no. And she, you know, is not going down without a fight. I really loved this. It's like Desperate Housewives meets True Blood. 100% recommend it. Go look out my video if you want to see the full review on that. Okay, next up we have Frankenstein. If you guys weren't familiar with my Gothic Horror Readalong, this month the book is Frankenstein. Each month for the rest of the year I'm going to be reading a Gothic horror classic on my Instagram with my Instagram followers using the hashtag Gothic Horror Readalong. I'll put the link to the video explaining that down below with the full list of the books. And you can follow me. I'm Bookish Marie. But yes, Frankenstein was this month's book and it was a wonderful reread for me. I hadn't read it in years and there was a lot of nuances that I completely forgot about, but you guys are all familiar with this tale. It's about Victor Frankenstein, an avid scientist and enthusiastic learner who decides to create life, and he makes his own monster, creates it, and then immediately regrets it, realizes what he's done and just hoofs it and leaves this poor thing to defend for itself. And obviously that has massive repercussions for him and his family. So the monster isn't happy and comes back to Victor for his revenge. It's a classic read, 5 out of 5 all day long. Can't recommend it. And on a side note, can we just look at this Ethereal Publishing version? Their editions are gorgeous. I'll put this link to their site down below. Let me show you, like, look at the illustrations on this bad boy. So this is gorgeous. It's by an illustrator called Matt Hughes, and he does kind of like Art Nouveau style illustrations. So yeah, that's my special edition that I read. Finally, told you I did quite well. We have The Deep by Alma Katsu. Again, I'm going to do a deep dive review on this one, so we'll not go into too much detail, but this is essentially the Titanic with a paranormal twist. It follows a girl called Annie. She is a stewardess on board the fateful voyage, and things start going weird. There's a death, there's sort of the presence of something something malevolent on board, some strange things start happening, and then obviously that terrible tragedy happens. And then it cuts to a few years later where Annie is now a nurse on board the Britannica, which is the Titanic sister ship, and is now a hospital vessel in the war. And she realizes that a man that she fell in love with on the Titanic is in fact a soldier in the hospital, although she thought he hadn't survived. And the strange occurrences kind of start up again. So that's sort of the basic premise. I was really intrigued to read this because I grew up in Belfast, and this is where the Titanic was built, and it's sort of like a big part of our culture here, a big part of our history. So I was excited to see this, especially the idea of a paranormal twist on it. I did enjoy it. It was an entertaining read, but I'm only going to give it 3 out of 5. I'm going to mark it down a bit because, to be honest, the horror was kind of secondary. It was kind of background, really. It was sort of shoehorned in. It was mostly about the relationship between Annie, a love triangle between her, the guy that she loves, and his wife. And the paranormal bits, there wasn't an awful lot of them, and I would have liked there to be more horror, basically. More horror, please, always. I wanted it to have more bite. But if you really like historical fiction, and this one does have a paranormal twist, I definitely recommend it. It was an entertaining read. I just would have liked it to have a bit more bite. So that's it, guys. That was my March reading list. I did pretty well, you know, nearly all 5s across the board, and even the date, which I gave 3 out of 5, I still loved. So yeah, I will put the links to all those books down below. I'll put Wick Wish there as well in case you want to get that artist collaboration. And as always, guys, if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button, hit the like button, leave me a comment, all those things. They help me with the algorithm, but I also love getting in touch with you guys, finding out about new channels, new books, making new friends. So please leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next month. Bye.